Welcome, everybody, to episode 3 of the Furthest From Perfect podcast. Everybody knows who I am. I'm Lance, because you're on my fucking channel. And this is my co-host, Steven.
Yes, that is I, co-host.
I don't think we'll ever have an intro, if I'm being honest.
I mean, I think at this point it's kind of just made us who we are.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have one. I told you I hate that shit. I hate the fucking... Like, I wanted to do something short and small, maybe, but I don't think we'll ever get one.
Oof.
I think we'll just keep that joke running. I need a haircut so goddamn bad, dude. Holy shit.
You and me both, bro. You and me both.
Well, I didn't realize it because I haven't cut my hair or shaved or trimmed my beard since the wedding. And
Oof.
that was the beginning of November. It is now the end of January.
Yeah.
When I did my last skit, I have this hat that I wear sometimes, and I look super Amish because of my beard right now.
Are you talking about that like top hat looking thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Hilarious.
I look super Amish. Like I am just ready to go outside and build a fucking barn. I don't know. I looked at it and I was like, oh boy, I really need to get this taken care of. I should be getting it done this week though, but I don't know. I just hate paying for haircuts, dude.
I don't blame you, man. That's why I go to Dana and get it done for free sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Why only sometimes?
Because lately I've gone to just like Great Clips, like literally right across the parking lot. Because the last one was for the funeral. Actually, scratch that. I won't say sometimes. It's only been one time, and I haven't got my haircut since. But it was for the funeral, and obviously I had to get like looked presentable for that. But I need to schedule an appointment here soon. Especially my facial hair. I don't know what I want to do with my facial hair, man. I'm getting like mixed results, but like you and I have always talked about it. I hate my facial hair.
Mixed
I hate
results.
it. I think it comes in gross. I think but I've got some like beard oil now, and I've been trying that. Like if I can grow it in like on the sides a little bit more thick, like maybe then like I would try it out more, but that's not the case. So yeah,
We asked
and then like my
2,000
hair,
people to react to your
And then-
facial hair.
yeah, and then like my hair, like I'm like I'm over like the comb over look. So like I've been trying to figure out like what I want to do.
I hate that
It's
you
gonna
call it
grow
the
it all out,
comb
dude.
over look.
Because it's what it is, bro.
I know, but I hate that it's called that because a comb over is like a bald dude that's trying to cover up his bald spot. That's what a
Yeah,
comb
bro,
over
I get
is.
it. Like I can either call it that or I can call it the fuck boy. Like, because all the fuck boys have it, bro. It's the Chad haircut.
It
you
is,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
You're the
Like-
you're Thad.
Yeah.
That's you. You're Thad. Fucking sun's out, guns out, natty drinking motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. All I'm missing, I'm like one pair of Oakleys away from a Rager. You know what I mean?
So what do you do with your hair? You just like going full like buzz cut or something? Like what are you doing with it?
Like I said, I don't know, right? And that's where I'm stuck at. I'm still stuck in that lull of I don't know.
Just mohawk it and call it good.
Right. Yep. Makes sense.
Yep.
Just full blown mohawk. You know what I mean?
Just Mad Max that shit and just call it good.
Yeah, and just be done with it.
Yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I might do because I don't have a wedding anymore, so I might just do some stupid shit with my hair and call it good. I might mullet my shit. I got enough in the back now. I can get me a nice little mullet going. Get that Theo Vaughn going.
Oh man, yeah, rocking that hard mullet.
He cracks me up when he talks about it too, because he's like, you gotta watch it when you turn your head. You whip somebody with it. Like the way he talks cracks me the fuck up. He says some ignorant shit, dude, but it's funny as hell.
Well, like what's funny is I remember watching him when he was on either Real World or Road Rules. I can't remember which one it was.
He was
like
he was on a reality TV show, wasn't he?
Yeah. So let me see. Because I remember watching him, The Miz on WWE. He was on the same show.
I know he
show,
was on he was on a some comic show too. I thought I could be wrong
Probably
about
the
that.
last comic standing.
But I thought he was on like something else as well, where it was like a bunch of comics. But I don't know if it was What was that old show that they used to do? Was it Last Comic Standing or whatever the fuck it was? Was he on that?
I don't know. He wasn't because I'm looking it up right now, but no.
Dude,
let me see.
Fucking spam caller.
Yeah, he was in Road Rules and Real World.
Jesus
the
Christ.
challenges
What
back
is
in
this?
2000.
Fuck off, bank.
Did he?
Fucking, you know how Chase charges you to have an account with him?
Yeah, it's so stupid. The comedy show he was on was literally called
Steven.
The Comedy Shot Show. Yeah. Oh boy. Oof.
What happened?
Good big salty. When I was typing in Theo Vaughn, like, so it's only been like 30 seconds, but the V muted it.
I was like,
Yeah.
dude, did I disconnect from the Discord call or something?
No, so everyone's gonna be seeing me talking to myself. I was literally answering all your questions too. I was answering all your questions.
I was like, bro, I thought we like disconnected from Discord or something.
No.
Maybe
No,
fucking
no.
Jackson fell and shit his pants. I didn't know what happened.
Literally,
I was like, dude.
that is only the mute button for my Discord. Yeah. So, but no, Theo Vaughn was in Real World and Road Rules back in 2000, and then the comedy show you were talking about is literally called The Comedy Sideshow.
Oh, okay, that's what it. Yep. Okay, that's what it was. Fucking, I should probably keep Discord open so that way I can see whenever you mute your mic. That shit was fucking...
Well, like I'm rarely ever typing, right? So it's V because like I put V there because like what is V used for? Anything ever, right?
Melee in every shooter ever. If you've ever played an FPS, it's always defaulted to V as melee, and I think it's because people hit it with their thumb, but I don't do that because
I don't do that either.
I'm not a bitch. I'm not a little bitch. But you've just been playing WoW. I would talk to you about other games that you've been playing. Oh, no, you played DBZ, right?
Yeah, I've still been playing it. I haven't played as much of it as I would like because I'm trying to play it with Jackson, right? But you know how he gets so sidetracked with games. He'll be so into something, and then he doesn't care if he ever plays it again. So I'm about to just start playing it by myself because I'm honestly just... The game looks so much fun, and I have a lot of fun playing it, but Jackson just definitely just doesn't play it. That and I think we spoke about it last week of all the games I'm excited for. There's a lot of games I'm super, super excited for.
What? There was a game... I might just need to get on Steam and look at it. But I feel like there's a big launch coming up soon. I know Cyberpunk got pushed back, but I think there was a big launch soon that I was like actually excited for. I could be wrong though.
Ooh, you're excited for a launch? What?
I get excited. That doesn't mean I'm going to buy
stuff.
it. That doesn't mean I'm going to buy it, but I'm excited for games. I'm always excited for games. I like watching shit, but you know, it's just
Yeah, Cyberpunk's definitely the big one everyone's waiting for, but I am waiting for Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII is
That got
something
pushed
I've been
back
asking
too, right?
for. Yeah. Well, so all of them got pushed back.
Yeah.
Except Resident Evil 3 remake, which I'm super excited for that one too. That's the big one that Jackson is
That might be the one I'm thinking of then. That's like
waiting to wrap his teeth in.
No, I don't know. I'm excited for games. I just have so many games. It's hard for me to get excited for games now. Like fucking Uncharted's on PlayStation Plus, so of course I downloaded that. I got Uncharted 1 through 3. And
Those are good games. I played, so scratch that. I played the first one, and I've always bought the other ones because I felt like your newest skit about the Steam games was a direct attack against me. So I'm just going to lay that out there. I do find offense in that, and I feel heavily insulted because it's that comment that you made where you were like,
you should.
It doesn't matter. You're gonna buy it, and then you're not gonna install like the other 300 games you have.
You're not gonna install any of the shit.
And I was
anyway.
like, oh,
you're not gonna.
yikes!
Do it?
Yeah, that was. He verbally attacked me.
It was. I had you in mind whenever I did that. Definitely. That fucking. But it's so true though. Like it was funny. I didn't expect that one to do as well. Like I always have a sense of what's gonna do well on Twitter. In terms of numbers, like some things surprised me, like the camera one, like when games don't let you control the camera, that one did like 15,000 likes or some stupid shit on Twitter. Like it went around on Twitter, and I was like, what the fuck? Like why? I didn't expect that at all. I post them there just to, whatever. Like, obviously, the Twitch ones tend to do a lot better because a lot of Twitch streamers just live on Twitter, so a lot of people relate to it really hard whenever it's on Twitch. And I have a big following of Twitch streamers and Twitch viewers and people that are around that community, so obviously those do really well. But that one, yeah, apparently a lot of people really... I couldn't tell if people liked it or if a lot of people were like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, they're kind of like mad about it over the
they were mad because I think that's, you spoke to so many different people in that, because I feel like everyone does that, right? Where there's that game that they always tell themselves like, oh, I'll get it when it's on sale, and then it's on sale, but then like, are you ever really gonna play it? Right? Like, so hold on, let me pull it up right now. Like, you know a lot of the games that are in my Steam library. Like, what would you say was probably the most pointless purchase that I've made?
Arma, if you have it. Did you ever buy that?
Arma was a pretty pointless one. Of course I bought Arma.
Yeah.
I
was excited for Arma 3 whenever it was, like, getting popular. Like, whenever roleplay was, like, big in it and shit, I was like, oh, dude, this game looks so fucking cool. Like, all this stuff. And I waited on it to go on sale. It went on sale one day, and I got the shit. And then... like, I think I loaded it up and then didn't understand how to play or something and then just never booted it up again. But I told you this before the podcast, like, a lot of the shit that I play is all just based on what I stream because I don't have a lot of time to just play shit. Like, I still do. Like, last night I fucking played Graveyard Keeper just chilling. Like, but I didn't stream it. But, like, a lot of my time gaming is taken up by streaming. So, and I was like, I'm never going to stream this. I'm just not. So, it was just one of those deals, I think.
No, I definitely feel it. I'm logging in my Steam library right now. Because there was one that I think, like, you tried so heavily to, like, hey, don't buy that, don't buy that, don't buy that. And I bought it anyway.
There was a few things. I think you always go for bundles. Every time. You always get wrapped up by bundles. You're like, there's 700 items in this bundle, and they're all, like, cosmetic DLC for Saints Row or some shit, and you just want it. It's just like, I need it. I have to put in my credit card number.
Yeah, so let's see. So I've got 462 games.
462. Damn.
The Worms bundle pack was pretty pointless to buy.
The Worms, really? You bought Worms?
Yeah, Worms Armageddon, Worms Blast, Worms Clans War, Worms Crazy Golf, Worms Pinball, Worms Reloaded, Worms Revolution, Worms Ultimate Mayhem, Worms WMB. Yeah, that one.
That's concerning how many games there are for fucking... Jesus.
Yeah. The Sniper Elite games, those were cool, but I hear they are cool. Never played them, but I've got all three of them.
God. Wait, no, there's a fourth one now, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, so you don't have
I've
all
got
of them.
Sniper Elite.
You better go buy the
Sniper
fourth
Elite
one.
2, Sniper Elite 3. Red Faction. That is the most pointless game I've bought. The whole Red Faction bundle.
I played Red Faction on console.
Yep, so did I. And that's why I was like, oh, it's going to be so cool. Nope, never installed it. That is probably, if I have to think of a series that I bought, it's Red Faction because I bought it with, like, and I don't have a tie to it, right? Like, I don't have a dog in that fight. Like, I don't I've never been like, yo, show me memories. Like, I played it before. I was like, hey, it was cool.
You're not passionate about Red Faction? What?
Deus Ex was another pretty stupid one, but at least those ones are at least worth playing. Like, going back.
They're fun. I haven't played all of them, but Human Revolution, I think.
So what you're saying is you want to do a 18-hour Civ stream.
God, that's still a game that I'm glad I didn't buy. Was Civ 6. I know it came with like a Humble Bundle one month, and people were like, "Oh, you don't have Civ 6? It came in Humble Bundle." Because every time a game comes in Humble Bundle, people are shocked that you don't have it. But right. I don't run my Humble Bundle every time. I usually just wait. Like, I don't up that shit, months out. I just fucking I'll be like, oh shit, it's in Humble Bundle this month. I'll fucking buy it. $12.
Right.
I'm down.
Yeah, no, I made a lot of stupid choices. But
yeah.
Hey, you live and you learn, right?
Well, I mean, like, it hit me too, because I have almost every Assassin's Creed on PC. Except for I don't have the very first one. and I don't have the newest one. So I don't have Odyssey, even though Odyssey was on a mad sale the other day, and I almost bought it because people said it was really good. But I don't have Odyssey, and I don't have Origins, like those super new ones. But I have like all the other ones, but they're scattered. Like I have some of them on Steam, and I have some of them on Uplay, because Uplay does sale sometimes. And like Uplay even went through this phase where they were like giving away games, like kind of like PlayStation Plus, but like you just had to download them within like 48 hours or whatever. And so I ended up getting a bunch of games on Uplay's launcher, like just for free. I got Far Cry, that weird. It was that the I think it's something Dragon or something. It's like that weird like techno rave neon light Far Cry. It's
blood is it blood something?
Is it Blood Dragon? Is that, or whatever the hell it is? What?
That's what it is.
At least you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure other people know what I'm talking about. But I got that one for free, even though I've never fucking played it. And then I got some Assassin's Creeds, and I got Crew, the first Crew that I'm never ever ever gonna install, but I have it. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, Mike. Remember how big Mike was like into that Crew? He was like, "Oh, it's gonna be like the best game ever," and then it most def was not.
I'm not into racing games like I used to be. I used to be really big into racing games. I'm not anymore. I think it's because I don't give a shit about cars. I don't care about cars. I've never cared about cars. But when I'm a kid, cars are more fun, I guess. Like the last racing game that I was really into was Need for Speed Most Wanted. And then before that, it was Midnight Club Dub Edition.
That was the game, though. Remember, did you ever play the game, what was it called, Juiced?
Yes, I did play Juiced, yeah.
That game was fun. I remember, like, that game took up, like, a whole spring break of mine when I was a sophomore in high school. Yeah,
I remember that game was hard.
It was very hard. But it had a lot more customization in it. That, in my opinion, made it very worth it.
It was just like, it wasn't as, if I'm remembering the right game, it wasn't as arcadey as the games that I was used to. So like Midnight Club obviously is very arcadey. There's not a ton of physics in it. Like it was more about like souping up your cars and making like these luxury cars, these like race cars, and it was awesome.
Right.
And then obviously you have Need for Speed, which is Need for Speed's always been a very casual racing game to me. Like it's not on the level of like, to me, if I play like Forza, I don't really do as well or like really understand it because there's a lot of like world physics in that.
Right.
With the cars and the way you have to take turns and shit like that. So I'm always like, let's fucking drift this corner, bitch. What's up? And, you know, running from cops and like crashing into donut shops to like make them fall down and everything. And so I'm just like, I don't know. I'm definitely more into the like arcadey style. Like, I'm a Mario Kart guy.
I'm a Mario Kart guy.
I'm a Mario Kart bitch. I'm not into all the other stuff.
Even?
I'm not. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, racing games, like I said, they're one of those things where you'll get it. Like I'll get it, and I'm like, yo, this is so much fun. And then like I never ever think to buy like the next one. Remember that like one little spurt I went on a couple years back where I bought like 3 or 4 racing games all in a week. Like
yeah,
I bought like Forza Horizon.
You 100% went through a phase. Definitely.
Yeah, like it was like what?
You went through a big phase.
And I just don't play it anymore. Hey, did I tell you I actually finished off of my Marvel Steelbook collection?
What do you mean you finished it off?
It's done. I bought the last one.
Oh. Well, goddamn.
Ant-Man and Wasp. Ant-Man and Wasp was the last one I was waiting for, and
so
I got it. So
you have all of them now?
I have all of them. I have all of the Steelbooks in the exclusive, all of its exclusivity.
How do you feel?
Like I wasted about $1,000.
You don't feel completed?
I mean, I do. It is definitely something that like was getting to my anxiety like very, very badly. Because once I started buying Steelbooks, like I have a very bad thing with like I can't have something like incomplete. That's why like I struggle with RPG games because I got 100% it. I have to. If I don't, I feel like I didn't even play.
Well, you didn't play, you casual fucking nerd.
Anyways, so like when I started buying the Steelbooks, I was like, well, cool, I didn't buy this one. 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 So now I've had to go back and buy them. Because like the only ones I bought were all the ones that are in 4K, minus the Hulk. I bought the Hulk in Blu-ray because it was so cheap, and then I bought the 4K movie and put the 4K movie inside the Blu-ray disc or the case. Oh. But it was like when Best Buy re-released all of they re-released all of the older ones, and I was like, well, damn, now I gotta go back and buy all the ones that were like the Best Buy exclusive ones, which was Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Black Panther, Ant-Man and Wasp, all those. And those are the expensive ones because if you can get them when they come out, when they sell out, dude, those things go for like $100 unsealed.
So, what are you gonna buy now?
I don't know.
Not sure.
I bought the Joker. I'm still gonna buy Steelbooks. I bought the Dragon Ball. I bought the Kakarot Collection Edition. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think you should collect stamps. That seems like it'd be your speed.
Nah, dude.
Peepaw.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
We went there.
Just fucking get your goddamn stamp and coin collection.
That coin collection would actually be pretty dope. Some of those coins are worth thousands.
Every year when I was younger, I think it was my great grandpa used to get me these. It was like the mint set of like the coins for like, I think it was like that year or whatever, but it came with like everything from like the dime all the way up to like the dollar for that year. And yeah. I had like probably 10 of those motherfuckers. I have no idea where they are now though, since I've moved. Apparently they're worth money, and they came in like a nice case and everything. And I have no idea. At the very least, you get the face value for them, but some of those coins, like they're like limited edition, like dollars, you know, and stuff like that. So some of those are apparently worth money. I have no idea where they are now.
Do you remember the United States coin map thing?
Yes. Yeah, where you put a quarter in like every state.
Yeah, I remember I was trying to collect those for a long time, but then I ended up spending it on like a bag of chips or something.
You get like you don't even get like a good deal. You buy like a $17 bag of Doritos at a gas station.
Yeah, this is something I've been working the last couple years on, and it's gone.
It is indeed gone. Never stays. I've never been a collector, man. I thought that I wanted to collect shit at one point in my life, and then I realized that I just didn't want to do that. Like at some point when you're a kid and you're really into something, like I always had those moments. I was never a kid that just like went away from something, like didn't mention it ever again or whatever, like, and just went away from it. I always had those moments as a kid when I was sitting there and I was like, I fucking hate this. Like in my little internal voice, I was like, I fucking hate this shit. But no matter what it was, I would always say that to myself before I quit doing it. It wasn't like I just stopped doing it. It was just like, I really fucking hate this. I'm not going to do this anymore. And then I stopped.
So my thing is, I should say, is it's not so much that like I don't collect, because I do collect some stuff, but like for someone to be a hardcore collector, I've got to have everything of whatever specific thing it is. I struggle with that, right? Like there's like steelbook collectors that it doesn't matter what the steelbook is, they buy it because it's a steelbook, right? Like there's like pages that I was looking at trying to find the, because I was trying to find the, all the Marvel ones, like, hey, which ones do I still need and whatnot. And there's people that like will have this forum full of like every steelbook you could possibly ever have, and they're like, they have the dates of when the new ones were coming out, like what was down the pipeline, and I'm just like, yo, I don't even know what kind of socks I want to wear tomorrow.
You can't look at that stuff, because that's like looking up like what is possible as a dick size, and your dick is never going to be that big. So it just makes you feel bad whenever you look up that shit.
And there's always been like stuff like I like to like collect, but I wouldn't call myself like a collector per se, right? Because when I think a collector, I like you, like I think they have every bit of everything that they're collecting, right?
Yeah.
Like steelbooks, I call myself like I like to collect them, but I am not a collector.
No, you're a collector.
Right? No.
Nope, you're a collector.
It's like little collector edition statues. Like I wouldn't call myself a collector because I only buy the games that like I enjoy. Like when I got you and I both the that God of War one, because I was like, oh, that statue on the inside of it's cool. Like I'm really into that type of stuff. But like other statues, like other collection editions, I don't care.
You know what you are? You are a Funko Pop collector. That's what you are.
Stop. Nope. I refuse.
You have spent tens of thousands of dollars on Funko Pops, and I think we need to have a discussion.
I've never bought a Funko Pop, and I will never buy a Funko Pop. Like, ever. I will never, ever.
Yeah, that was a trend I definitely missed. I don't know if it's because I just didn't want to just throw $5 away. Like, I feel like that's what I don't want to shit on people's hobbies, right? But I feel like a lot of people, they buy Funko Pops and they sit on their shelf and they get dusty and they don't take care of them, and then they're gonna like throw them away or something when they move, or they're never gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna resell this. Like 95% of people are never gonna do that. They're gonna either give it away or they're gonna throw it away or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna, maybe you'll give it to your kid if you have one day. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people that bought those, it's like for me, I only want like a select few if I was ever gonna get any. Like there's like Avatar ones where you can get like a little Aang and little Iroh, and I like those would be kind of cool to like maybe put behind me for like kind of just a set or something for me, like just as a backdrop. But I'm definitely like not into the. I missed that phase. I think I definitely.
Well, so they're also cool. Like if you only want like if you want just the series one, right? Like I know EJ collects just like the Dragon Ball one.
Oh yeah.
Right. So like to me, I think that's pretty cool. But no, I've got zero desire to even slightly kind of collect Funko Pops, man. Zero desire.
They're always appealing to me. Like I always like looking at all the little
they're cool.
Like,
and then like sitting there like, oh hey, what's the next big thing that they're gonna do, right? But like, no, not for me.
It's like one of the best
not for me.
reasons to go into,
because everybody at work talks about like those and amiibos. Amiibos people like freak out about too, and I was like, it's never been my thing, man.
But amiibos had a use though, didn't they?
Right.
Like, you could put them in a game, right?
Yep. But I just, like I said, it was never my thing. I had a very meh. They're all right. I mean, they're whatever.
I remember years ago, whenever amiibos first came out, it came out with the same, or it was about the same time as because we had a special edition Yoshi one for Yoshi's like Woolly Island or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah.
It was like right whenever that first wave of amiibos hit, or maybe it wasn't the first wave, but it was like still super popular whenever I was working customer service at Best Buy. I had motherfuckers fighting over Marth. The fucking Marth amiibo, dude. Like, they were trying, like, Marth and Sheik, they were literally, we would bring the box out of the back, put it on the ground and not even stock the shelves, and people would destroy the box to buy them. Like, you had employees hiding the little Yoshi one because it was specifically for like that Yoshi release. It was, I don't even remember the game.
Dude, like I said, dude, people take that stuff seriously, man. Like,
it was crazy, dude. Like, I had moms like drop kicking teenagers and shit over a fucking piece of plastic, and now people are 3D printing them, which I think is hilarious. You can, like, these motherfuckers that have these 3D printers, they're just 3D printing like their own amiibos and then putting the little, it's like a little chip or a sensor or something on the bottom of it that like reads it in game, so like you can literally use it like an actual amiibo, and I just think that's hilarious.
That is pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, like people were reselling these for however much, and now people are just 3D printing them, and it's great.
Yeah, people make a big deal about it at work too. But like the collection edition for Kakarot, dude, I had to like call in a favor from a store that's like an hour and a half away.
Yeah, you can call in a little sexual favor. Is that what it was? You out there giving handies for some Dragon Balls?
Hey, man.
You rubbing some Dragon Balls?
Mm-hmm. Make a little wish. I did have a wish. I had a request.
Yeah. Yeah, you making Shinron arise? Is that what you're doing?
I'm done with that. I'm done
He
with
sucked
all of
a
that.
dick for a collector's edition.
Never that.
Sometimes that. Sometimes that. Sometimes that.
Sounded like a damn Minecraft villager.
I watched a video. I watched a YouTube video, the glory of YouTube's recommended, that I never end up in, but somehow, I watch a fucking video about this. This guy beat Minecraft with a bucket. That was it.
What?
His fist, he didn't use any tools or anything. He beat Minecraft with a bucket.
How's that even possible?
He did it. It was very possible. So the way he made, I was like, dude, how are you even gonna make the fucking like gate and shit that you need? And he found a lava pit and then like formed the gate like out of the lava, like with the water in the bucket, like made the obsidian to go into the fucking to make the gate and everything. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, he did it. Beat it with a bucket.
Some people just need something to do with their life, man. Like that's rough.
Look, some people need the challenge of doing that in Minecraft. Okay, me, I'm just trying to plan my meals for the week. I'm just trying to figure out, like, some people are way ahead of me. I feel like either that or they just like they're doing that and then neglecting everything else. Because I can't fathom somebody being able to do all of that, like have a normal day to day and then still be like, I bet I could beat Minecraft with a bucket. I bet I could do that shit. I can't.
So like me personally, like I've never been that good at a game to be able to do something I wouldn't say good, because there's a lot of those challenges that people do that stuff and they're not very good. It's just they're very creative, right? Like I struggle in Fallout to I'm gonna be a small pistols guy, and then I find a fat man and I'm like, but I want to blow something up, and then like I get sidetracked, right? Like I struggle like with stuff like that. Like one of my favorite YouTube channels when it comes to like Fallout and Elder Scrolls content is Fudge Muppet. Have you ever watched them before?
Yeah, I've watched Fudge Muppet.
I love their builds and all that kind of stuff like that. But then I'm like, yo, I would love to do something like that. I could never do anything like that. Like, I'm not creative enough, nor do I have like I guess you could call it the self-discipline to not be like, I'm done with this build and I'm going to pick up this sniper rifle and pop some heads off.
For me, because I used to do that shit all the time in Skyrim, and like,
right.
I can't do it in other games unless I have, like, it's essentially a role play whenever you pick a specific build. It is a style of role playing. Whether you get into like a voiced character and all this other shit, it's essentially a role play. Like you're role playing I don't know, a merchant that uses daggers and speech or something. I can't do that unless I have played the game enough to be bored with the game. Like, that's where I started doing it with Skyrim, where it was like, dude, I can play this one way so many times where like I want to try something else. And it's kind of like like I never really hit that point with Fallout. Like I kind of did, but not really. Like Fallout, I still just like play through it, and like sometimes I'll try different builds, like whether it's sneak or whatever, but it's never like I'm gonna limit myself to the fucking rocket launcher, like not the boom boom one, the one that just launches fucking junk. Whatever that shit is
honest to God, like I was sitting back there and thinking, like, 'cause I told you that I've been having the sudden urge to play like Fallout or just an Elder Scrolls game, right? Like, because I would love to go back to Oblivion at some point, because I was loving Oblivion until I became a vampire, and then you told me that it's complete trash to get it off. So I'm like, cool, I'm just never playing this again.
Yeah,
like,
Oblivion. Being a vampire ruined my very first Oblivion playthrough because I got trapped.
Yep. That's what mine is, right? So like, cause I'm like, why am I always dying just randomly? You're like, check this for me. And I checked, and you're like, yep, you're a vampire. And I was like, no.
You get good stat bonuses, but it's like, I literally got trapped because I was trespassing and it was daytime and I couldn't wait until nighttime. And I couldn't turn on, I mean, I was on console, so I didn't know how to turn on like, God mode or anything. to fix it. Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to go back to your Oblivion playthrough and just console fix your fucking vampirism. You know what I mean? Just fucking... I'm sure there is a command for that on Oblivion on PC.
I'm sure.
Just console fix it. Just be done with it. Just be like, fuck this, dude. I'm done. But yeah, it's annoying.
But I was sitting there asking myself, like, what? Because there was one day, like, and I told you, like, I don't know what it was, dude. Like, I played Fallout 3 so much, and then finally I was like, fuck it, I'm done. And I was like trying to think to myself, like, when was the moment that happened, right? And I think it literally was that 24-hour stream.
Yeah,
like,
you
not
didn't
the
want
whole
to play anymore.
Bathtub thing, like, yeah, like whatever, that sucks. But like, because a lot of people were like, how did you play Fallout 3? And mind you, like, that was a pretty old game at the time. And I was like, it's frustrating to even think about it. But like, everybody was like, how could you sit there and just play Fallout for however many hours? And I was like, because I love the game. And every time I went and played it again after that, it was like, I was just kind of like, I guess I was just over it.
Yeah,
right?
you
Like,
fucking ruined yourself. The problem, though, you had a lot more struggles that I feel like were self-inflicted with that game in terms of you were using mods, and so you disabled your autosave, and so like there was times where your game would crash and you'd go back like 3 hours. This was like during that 24-hour period, and you'd go back like 3 hours. And so like that was your fault.
Oh, 100%. I don't blame anybody for my shortcomings. It was always me. Every bit of it was always me.
But I just remember seeing you die a little inside every time that fucking thing would crash. You're like, fuck, when did I save? When did I save? When did I save?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very real struggle. Because I remember, God, it's so funny. I remember, like, a couple weeks ago, and I was thinking about it, and I was at work, and I played the video, and I just watched my face immediately, just like, I just immediately hit fuck it. Like, when I died, because I'm sitting there, and I load up where I was at, and, like, I did, like, the squinty eye thing, and I was, like, just put my head over my face, and I was like, I'm never playing this again. Because it was, like, 6 hours prior to, like, where I was at. Like, how my stupid self made it 6 hours without dying. Like, that's another thing to be had. But... man, that was something. That was
I want to, like, I don't know, I've been in this like urge to obviously just game, but I am still searching because for like a game that I can really like play every day. Like, you have WoW.
Yeah.
And like I still want to game, and like I love playing all these story games and everything, and I think I've been put in a great position with my stream to give me a great excuse to play through all these story games. Mm-hmm. But I want to do it all in one sitting, and that's usually not great for streaming just because like it's just pure hell on my voice, some of these games.
Right.
Especially if I'm reading a lot or whatever, and like, so I'm trying to find time to play like the story games kind of like off stream, and then play something on stream. Like, that was one of the best things about whenever I was only playing Skyrim on stream was I didn't have to think. That whole portion of what to play on stream was just taken out of my hands. I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna play Skyrim again. That was fun. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that. And like, you know, the community loved it, so who's not gonna say yes to more viewers, right? Like, it was great. But I'm still like searching for that because I feel like a lot of people have found it with, like, right now, like Escape from Tarkov is like really big. I have no interest in that game. I really don't.
I didn't even watch much of it. I see a lot of people playing it, but like it's
the only way I play it is if like I had somebody to play it with day in and day out, like every single day. Like, I'm only gonna play this game if I've got somebody with me. Solo, that game looks fucking terrible to me. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people that are probably like, but Tarkov's so awesome. That's cool. More power to you. It looks not fun for me. It looks like a lot of pain and slow pacing for very little payoff for me. But like, I don't give a fuck if it's like, if I wind up playing Kerbal Space Program every day. Like if that's the game that makes me happy, I'm just like looking for a game that I can play like every day. And
well, I told you I was wanting that before WoW came along, and even WoW, like I'm excited for something to pull me away from WoW. Like I enjoy playing it. Don't get me wrong, but like I was telling you right before the stream started, like it's definitely not like after WoW Classic is over. I don't enjoy WoW enough to be like I'm going to retro or to retail WoW. Like I don't enjoy the game that much.
Yeah.
Like the game is fun, but like I am definitely happy that I never got into this game as a kid. Like I'm thoroughly appreciative of that.
Why is that?
It's just the game. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. Like that's the easiest way to put it is like I was telling you last night. I got some really awesome stuff in my raid, but like I've also been playing with this guild for God knows, like obviously since launch.
Yeah.
So I was like,
You've got like hundreds of hours in the game, right?
I've got so I'm actually AFKing in a battle zone right now, so let me check real quick. I have exactly
Is too many a good answer?
well, so this one character, right? Because this was because you and I had played a lot before I even created this character.
Mm-hmm.
But this character alone, I have 31 days, 6 hours, 32 minutes, and 27 seconds.
Wow.
And like that's not even counting. Like I had the actual iStevie TV character on Bigglesworth that we both got up to. I think I ended up getting up to like 25 or 30. And I tried to server transfer when I was moving to this one, but they said I couldn't because it was a high pop going to a high pop, so they wouldn't allow it to happen. But then there was the Alliance characters we created, there was the Hunter characters we created, so realistically I probably have 40 to 45 days in this game. Because I've also got 3 characters on this server. I've got my mage, I've got my mage and my hunter. Because I use my mage he's my gold maker, and then my hunter makes all my potions.
So, isn't that crazy to think about how much you've played it just in this short span of time? And Rylan had like 2 years of in-game time.
Well,
he had like 700 days or some shit.
Well, so the thing that's crazy about that, right, is that sounds crazy in thought, but like if you were to tell me without me looking at that I've got almost 32 days played, I'd be like, nah, there's no way, right? Because like it doesn't feel
that game just
like
eats
to be that
time,
long.
And you don't even know it.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
It eats away my time, like, which is good and bad, right? Because anyone that knows me knows I'm terrible with like just randomly spending money and doing things. This game has literally made it so where like I have a savings.
I was gonna say that's why I haven't
weird
tried
to say.
That's why I haven't tried to pull you away from it and giving you a bunch of shit, because I'm like, he's got some shit to do. Like, as weird and like as depressing as that shit fucking sounds, I'm like, this motherfucker has some shit to do for the first time in years. It feels like he's got some shit that occupies his time to keep him fucking buying a boat or some shit. Like, I don't know. Just
yeah, like my dumbass sits there and goes to like Micro Center and like, oh, let me go buy an RTX card. Why? I don't know. Why not?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm well aware of it, right? So like,
yeah.
Because Jackson watches YouTube videos, and if Jackson wants to go do something, we'll go do something, right? Like it's one of those games where it doesn't consume my time to the point where I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm blessed enough to be. I'm blessed. Listen to me right now.
Hashtag.
I'm lucky enough to be. Yeah. Hashtag blessed. But I'm in a guild that like isn't super strict. Like, oh, you've got to be here now, or you're G kicked or whatever. Like, no, everybody. It's like a bunch of adults, and we're not trying to be like the best in the world. So it's like, oh, if you can't make it, just post. You can't make it, but like if real life stuff happens, right? Like when my son was sick the other night. 2 nights ago, and I was telling them, I was like, hey, when I randomly walk away from the mic, like, I'm taking care of my son. And like we'd be like mid battle, and I would get up and walk away, and like everybody was just like we were having fun and like laughing about it. It's like that's made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And I think another thing too is like where I couldn't do it, right? Is when you and I first started playing, I just wanted to slam my face against my desk because the RNG of this game is so stupid and so frustrating that like once I learned how to pull like Bistless, and there's a bunch of other warriors in the guild that like have played this for 10 plus years. Once I found those, this game started becoming a lot more enjoyable because then it was like I don't have to go searching for a better weapon, right? Like I know where to go to get said better weapon.
Mm-hmm. It's like all those people. That's why all those people were enjoying it when it first came out. Is because all those motherfuckers knew how to level and knew how to do shit and where to go to get shit. And so like it was our first experience, which is great, and I'm glad I experienced it. But I was over it. I really was. I was like, if I want to get fucked this hard, I will just go strap one on my wife, okay? I don't need this in my life right now. I don't. Because I would just kill thing after thing after thing, and it just never would drop what I wanted. It would never do what I wanted. And I was like, I can't take this. I can't do it.
Well, and that's when it became enjoyable for me, right? Is like, because they would tell me, like, hey, because a lot of the videos I watched, like, you got to go get this axe. You got to go get it. And then like when I jumped in the guild, and they're like, no, don't do that for a 1% drop. Like instead, go here. You'll lose a little bit of stats, but you're not gonna hate your life afterwards, right? Like, and just stuff like that is like when this, because one of the warriors that like it was kind of funny. We were cracking with the guild, and we were they called me, the warrior's name is Cant. Like he's probably played this game the longest out of all the warriors, and they called me like his little protege, because like every time he is a friend of a friend of a friend, right? So like Luke, my good buddy Luke from work, he was the one that got me in this guild. His buddy Austin, which is one of the officers in the guild, has been playing with Cant for I don't know, 8 or 9 years. And he's always played warrior, so like anytime anyone, like I've ever needed anything, they're like, "Oh, just ask Kent. He probably knows a workaround for something." And like he's the one I go to for everything. So like anytime like he sees me making like a stupid rotation, he's like, "Hey, don't do that. Do this instead. It'll make your life a lot more enjoyable." No. And he'll just like cut to the chase. He's like, "You should be doing this. Like go here, not here."
Gotcha.
So like that's made the game a lot more enjoyable. But like when you and I were playing it, like it was fun to an extent. But not really.
It was fun for the experience because like we were playing it and everybody else was playing it and everybody was talking about it, and that's what I wanted. I wanted the experience of like seeing a populated server, like being in it with like people talking in chat, and like that's what I wanted more than anything, because I definitely missed that wave of like WoW, and I'm glad I know what it's like now.
Well, and I think we got that part of it right, where it's like. We were part of the whole, you gotta wait in line to collect this quest because there were so many people sitting there. And like, try to level up as fast as you can to get out of this opening area because it's so much more popular. I think the most crazy we had was when we rolled Alliance characters, and I was a rogue, and we were both that
Falcor. Server was stupid. That opening area was disgustingly populated, dude.
Well, I think that was one of the first servers they actually shut down too.
Oh, really?
Because it died off. Yeah, because a lot of people were doing what we were doing, which was, I can't, like, I'm not. This server doesn't have a queue, and they kept server jumping because of the queues.
You just want to play,
and so like that was like a very real thing, and but yeah, that was one of the first ones that went down because I remember like. They sent me an email saying that they were going to be closing that server. If I wanted to transfer off for free, I could. And I was like, I don't have a desire to run Alliance. But the Rogue was pretty fun, but I just didn't really care for the Alliance that much. But that was probably the most fun because like there was like 10 Falcors like at the start, which we kept cracking that joke of Falcor. Like,
Defender of the Alliance. I have what was it? I defeated the Bloodfish at Jared's Landing.
Yeah,
and I've braved the fuck. What was it? The Oh, what's that mine called? The something deep mine. What's that shit called?
I can't remember, bro. Like,
fuck, I can't remember it either. I gotta rewatch the episode then. I gotta watch the episode again.
but see, like that to me is like what I had a lot of fun at, because like a lot of people were asking me the other night when I was in the Discord with them. They're like, if you could go back and do it again, would you? And I was like, nope. If I can go back and not play this game again, I probably would. Like, I'm saying that as someone that enjoys it, but like now that I've started and we're going into phase 3, so we're like halfway through the game, starting February 12th. I was like, now I'm here to write it out, right? Yeah. Because like now I'm genuinely interested in, because like the guild that we're in is actually really, really good. Shout out Protect the Lumber. But we're really good. Like, we're actually top like 200 in the game as far as like speed clearing and stuff like that, and we don't try to. Like, we're not one of those guilds that's like posting YouTube videos like, oh, this is the fastest way to clear molten core.
Oh yeah,
like, we just go in there. We're
school. I know.
Well, no, we genuinely have fun, and it's like we are a bigger PvP guild, so we don't really care about that stuff that much. But like, the stuff we're doing now is so easy. Like I told you, like most of the time I jump on, my headphones aren't even on, and I'm AFKing and I'm watching something with Jackson while like in the background I am just letting my wolf run into battle so I can collect points.
Yeah.
But like the new raid comes out on the 12th, and like everybody's like, now's when the game starts getting hard. Like, and I was like, now's when it starts getting hard. I was like, I remember myself like 3 months ago wanting to punch my monitor because I kept dying.
That's probably that same shit like in fucking school. Whenever you come from like middle school into high school and they're like, now's where shit gets serious, and then you go into like your freshman year of college and like, now's where you gotta get serious. Like,
well, and that's what me and Kane were talking about too. He's like, dude, people keep panicking because of what it was when we played back then, and they're like, that's not what it is anymore, man. Like, they're like, you never, like back then you would have saw someone like rolling up and all like white gear if like that's what was the best that they had. And like now, like everyone's got those best in slot lists and stuff like that. So like everyone just, you get to a certain point where everyone in your class at your level is wearing the same stuff as you.
Yeah.
Right. So then it becomes like, okay, who's just the best one?
Well, there's more resources
right? So like,
now too for people to figure it out. Like how many people don't know how to do something and then just fucking Google it now compared to like what people used to do, which is run around and just be like, oh, this is cool. Oh, I bet this would be cool.
Yeah. Yep. And that's why like it's why a couple of officers were like, no, I don't think it's gonna be that hard. Like, it was so hard then because no one should have been there, and they were there.
Yeah.
But that's why they were making a big deal. Like one of the hardest bosses ever in history, Cthulhu. They're trying to figure out if they're going to release like the pre-patch version of him, I guess, because I guess he literally before patch he had never been beaten, and it like any list that you look at of hardest bosses ever in just any game, he always pops up because it had never been cleared. So they're sitting there thinking like, are they going to bring that version of him back? Because now that everybody's so much scaled higher levels and stuff like that, if now someone's going to be able to face him. I was like, I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. Like, hearing stuff like that excites me. Like the game itself, dude, I got all my cool shit. Like, I don't.
So do you just like play the shit, or do you like? Because me, whenever I'm not streaming, I usually have a movie or a show on or something, and I'm watching something else. And especially in that game where you're like I feel like this is gonna sound really bad, but I feel like a lot of that game is brain dead. And I know that there's a lot of WoW people that are like, no, it's not. But like, if you're not actively PvPing or something, I feel like a lot of it is like farming and like AFK fucking running or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not.
Yeah, no, it's very brain dead. There's like literally, I would say, I at minimum I play this game probably about 4 hours a day. Right? I would probably say an hour of that is something I'm actually playing. Because the rest, like, I'm not even having to look at my screen because you press the same 3 buttons as a warrior.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
And I could do that. I could do that without looking. Yeah. Right. I made it so where like everything's key binded, so like I don't even really have to use my mouse at all for anything.
Yeah.
And that's what. But like, I think that's also what's keeping me not hating this game, is because like the farming, like I can get so much other shit done. Right. Like when I'm like AFK farming battlegrounds, which is the PvP modes that I was telling you about. I can literally just hit numbers lock. My character runs straight, and then I go do the dishes. I'm that person everyone keeps reporting because like I don't like I've got shit I gotta do. Like I'm not gonna be super try hard against something that like doesn't really matter. Like I'm only doing it to get higher ranking so I can get better PvP gear. Yeah, dude. Like I get emails all the time that I've been reported.
That's hilarious, dude. That's fucking
now.
funny.
Now, if I were to be banned, that's another story. That I would probably get kind of upset for.
Have you
like that to me? I would stop playing the game if that happened.
Have you been like watching anything like while you're playing or no?
Oh yeah. Just catching up on some of the shows. Rick and Morty. I caught back up on South Park.
I didn't see the new
I've been
season
watching
of Rick and Morty.
I've been watching like random movies, like completely random movies, like shit, what was it?
Like how random? Are you watching like British indie film random? Or are you watching like
No,
random in terms of like it was
like,
in theaters for like a week random?
Not even that. It's like older movies, right? Like I
okay.
watched there was one on Netflix. Like I saw it and I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen this movie and Night of the Roxbury.
That's
I watched
such
that.
a good movie.
Right, but just like movies that like if it's on, I'll watch it, but you'll never catch me going to look for it. Like
Kylie showed me fucking that new show You. Or it's not really
Oh,
new.
yeah, I heard that's really
It's old, but the new season was out, season 2, and she hadn't watched it. So I didn't watch any of season 1, and I came into the show like 3 episodes into season 2. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a completely different viewpoint than what she did. I don't know if you've watched it at all.
I watched a couple opening episodes because that show is like everyone's obsessed with that show. So I was like, let me see what everyone's talking about. It's definitely like something you'd have to watch with a female friend or a girlfriend.
Well, see, that's what I thought.
Or...
That's what I thought. This is what I was talking about with the viewpoint
That's
situation.
what I thought.
I came in. Kylie asked me because I was doing shit, and she was like, "I'm about to start season 2 of You. I know you didn't see season 1, but there's a big recap. Do you want to watch it with me?" And I was like, "I got shit to do upstairs, you know. Like so I'm probably gonna go work on that." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Like we can watch something else." And I was like, "No, it's fine. Like you can watch that. Like I know you like that show." I heard that show is a lot more appealing to a like female audience. I thought that was like their target demographic. Boy, was I fucking wrong. Okay, because whenever I got done with my shit upstairs, she had gotten like 2 or 3 episodes in, and I came downstairs and was just like, "Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna sit down and watch a show with her because I'm not gonna fuck up. I'm not gonna make her turn her show off right just because I'm done with what I'm doing." So I sat down there and she's like,
was I wrong?
"She's like, do you want to watch something else?" I was like, "No, we just keep this on, whatever." And I got sucked in so fucking fast. But I had a completely different... I don't want to spoil season 2 for anybody that's listening, but I got sucked in so fucking fast. And the way... Like, the dude is a stalker. Like, just call it what it is. He's an obsessive stalker. He sees something, and he sees somebody, and he fixates on them, and then he stalks them. I had a completely different viewpoint, because I didn't see the crazy in season 1. I only saw, like, the season 2 version of him, which was a lot of him just trying to fix, like, a lot of mistakes from his past. That's what more season 2 was like, he did a bunch of crazy shit, and now he's trying to, like, deal with the crazy shit that he did, but he's trying to live, like, a normal kind of life. And so I was like, dude, this guy's he's just a dude, man. Why is he down on his luck like this? And he's tried to like kill people and shit. So it's like, I had a completely different viewpoint. Kylie's like, no, he's fucking crazy. Like
the guy.
And I was like, no, he's just a normal guy. Like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? Because I didn't see the crazy at the beginning.
Right.
And I was so fucked up by the end of the season because I didn't know how to feel about anything. And
it was like one of those things where like a murder or something bad. It's like how the Anthony Hernandez like made me feel, like that whole stuff. Where I'm like, dude, I felt bad for him, but like in the back of your mind, you're like, he killed somebody though.
He killed multiple people, didn't he?
Right. Well,
or he was like tied in with a bunch of shit.
Like, Well, yeah, he was tied into like so. Sorry to spoil this Netflix documentary for anybody who hasn't seen it, but he was tied in for a murder of two people outside a nightclub. That was the one that he was found not guilty.
Yeah.
But then there was the sister-in-law's boyfriend that I think he did 100% kill, like, which is the first one, like the friend of a friend that he killed. That one I thoroughly think that he had every bit of. The two outside the nightclub, I don't know. Like, the only real proof they had behind it was like a getaway car that like wasn't really like a getaway car, or they don't know if he was the one that fired the shots, or the guy that was with him that is a known like drug dealer and all that kind of stuff. If he was the one that fired the shots, because they were going back and forth on who actually did it.
Yeah, it was just like, that's kind of how it was though. It was like the way they spun it, because the show very much resembles. I recognize this in the first episode. I asked Kyler, I was like, is this made by the same people that made Dexter? Because Dexter's a fantastic show. I really loved it. It went on a little long, but like the early seasons of Dexter are fucking phenomenal. And it's told in almost the same way, where like he's got this internal voice where he's talking. He's this guy that's got these secrets that he's hiding, but he's trying to live this normal life on the outside. And then it even goes as far as like the way the camera angles work. It even looks like Dexter. And on top of that, he even hides shit in the wall like Dexter. Like Dexter hides his fucking trophies like in the air conditioning that's in the wall and shit like that.
Yeah.
This guy hides shit in the wall too. Like, it's the way, like, so it just so much resembles Dexter. And like, obviously Dexter is he's a psychopath who kills people, but he tries to kill like bad people, but he's still murdering people. So it's like, why do I identify with this guy? Like, why do I feel like I'm like rooting for this guy that is just killing people?
Yeah.
And in that show, it's like, this dude is a fucking stalker. Why does he just feel like a normal guy? But it's the way they spin the kind of narrative and shit. And it's like, everybody's picking on him, and it's like everybody's perfectly sane around him. But like, you've spent so much time looking at his life that you like feel bad for him, kind of.
Yeah. Like, I think that is, to me, that's just a sign of great writing, right? Like the whole Ted Bundy documentary had a lot of that as well. That people got angry because they said they were trying to glorify.
They're like romanticizing him.
Yeah, man. Like, but to me, like, after I watched that as well, I was like, hey, I just see that as great writing.
Yeah.
Like, clearly, if you're watching this and you don't know what happened, I think that's a whole nother issue, right? But like, I knew of Ted Bundy, serial killer, all that kind of stuff. So going in, I knew he was a scumbag. But then you watch it and you're like, you start to see some of the things that, like, I guess the mastermind that he was, and kind of like what was the other one? The other one that was on Hulu, the sick girl and her mom was crazy.
Oh, me and Kylie watched that thing in its entirety. We used to wait on the new episodes. It was The Act. That's what it was.
Yes. Right. So stuff like that, right? Like, where, she killed somebody, but like, to be able to write a story on something that actually happened, to create a narrative of maybe they're not so bad, but yet you still know they're bad. Like, that to me is great writing. Darren Hernandez documentary was amazing, right? Like, do I still think he's a scumbag? Absolutely. But then, like, for people to not question, like, with his whole thing of CTE, and then when they did the brain scan, like, CTE has been like they've been tied to like a lot of crazy stuff. Like, they're saying now, like, Antonio Brown might be a victim of CTE.
I believe 100% he does. He's like, flipped so much, but anyways.
But that's what I'm saying, right? But like, you see something like that because they link that back to the Vontaze Burfict hit that completely laid him out in the playoffs a couple years ago. Before that situation, he was quiet. He was very humble. No one ever heard him. After that hit, he's literally like a completely different person. Yeah. And they're saying like the whole Aaron Hernandez thing was the same thing. And like, to me, like, don't get me wrong, I don't think science is foolproof. But for people to not look at science and sit there and says, like, you can't sit there and be like, that's not true to every part of science, right? Like, things happen for a reason. If part of people's brains are missing.
Well, they were talking about Junior Seau, like whenever he shot himself in the chest and was like, look at my brain.
Right. Yeah. He wanted. Yeah, dude.
And his brain was like a raisin. Like, it was like all shriveled up and fucked up and shit.
Yep. So, like, to me, like, I think that is the part of those documentaries that is true. Like, it truly baffles me, right? But I've always been a person to like have a very open mindset about a lot of things, and I try to see, because me and my Apple guy at work were sitting there talking about it, like, I try to be the guy that I care more about the conversation and less about the actual subject or the situation that's happening, right? Like, I could be all for gay marriage and you could be completely against gay marriage, but I don't hate you, nor will I disrespect you. I would listen to both sides of it, right? Like, I care about those conversation pieces, which is why like Philip DeFranco, like, for years I watched him because, like, that's how I think he's become a lot of clickbaity now, but like back when I first started watching him, like, that's what it was. Is he was very big on, I'm going to throw this subject out here. Let's have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Right? Without sitting there saying, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. No, you're stupid. No, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what a lot of arguments turn into nowadays. Or it's my way or the highway. Or if you don't believe in what I believe in, well then fuck you.
Yeah.
Right? And like, that's never been my mindset. Like, that's why I stay very, very quiet on social issues, because I don't care. Like, I care to a degree. Like, I think everybody should have their own opinion, but I think that should be where it's left. It is your opinion.
Well, a lot of people put themselves in a lot of that, in my personal, I guess, experience. A lot of that, like, I'm right, you're wrong, la 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 bullshit is, one, I feel like a lot of people seek out more conflict nowadays than they used to. I feel like before, obviously the growth of social media, the growth of social media, conflict is, one, put in front of people, and two, I think people now search for it. Like, they go and look for that drama or whatever, whether it's because they're bored at work or they're bored at home or whatever. I think it stems from boredom, but I think people look for conflict to purposely disagree with people. And I think people also put themselves in, like, echo chambers really hard nowadays, where, like, they don't even want to look at the other viewpoint. They want to take the other viewpoint and sweep it under the rug like it never existed, rather than, like, exposing themselves to it and being like, okay, this exists. I don't like it, but it exists. A lot of people just want to take it and, like, push it away like it doesn't exist. And it's like, that's not the way you handle it. You have to recognize that it exists. You don't like it, and you can either try to change it or not change it, just leave it alone, whatever. But you have to realize that exists. Right. That viewpoint exists. Like, there's a lot of people, I've talked about this before. There is a surprising number of people that refuse to believe that racism exists in any way, shape, or form. They refuse. They don't want to look at it. They don't see it in their day-to-day life, and they just think it is absolutely ridiculous that people are still being oppressed in 2020. They think it's ridiculous. And it's like, you have to realize that that's still there. Just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean it's not around in other aspects. And that's what a lot of people like to do. They like to just block out issues rather than just accepting the fact that, like, they're there. You know, you have to acknowledge they're there. They just want to, like, sweep them under the rug and ignore them. And that's not even if you don't want to talk about it, you have to realize it's there. You have to realize that shit exists, and people put themselves in those echo chambers of, like, everybody just agrees with them and they always think they're right, and they surround themselves by people that agree with them. I said that for a long time that, like, that's the issue with a lot of, like, content creators, YouTubers and Twitch streamers that turn into those, like, assholes. Yeah. And it's because for years and years and years they've just been flooded with people that just agree with them, and anybody that doesn't agree with them, they just ban or block out or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care. Right. They're right, you're wrong in every way, shape, and form, and then they turn into these fucking, like, they're borderline, like, sociopathic with the way they like treat people and talk to people and act and shit. And it's like, well, years of thousands of people just saying yes to you all the fucking time. Like, it's kind of hard. It's like that childhood actor syndrome where like you get everything handed to you for so long that you just view the world that way. Like, it warps your worldview.
You're like untouchable, right?
Yeah, like it's the same shit. And I think that's where a lot of those arguments come from, of like the la 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 la, you know, I'm right, you're wrong. Like, they've had a bunch of people tell them yes their whole life, or they're for years they've had a bunch of people agree with them and tell them that they can do no wrong. And then, you know, then they finally run into an issue that they thought didn't exist, or like, you know, that people have been saying they're right about this whole time, and then they're like, what? Huh? What do you mean I'm wrong? What?
Yeah, it's terrible. But that, I mean, you're exactly right. Like, when you get to that point where you're told that you're right about everything for so long, and then finally, like, you get in your own head of like, I know a lot of stuff. Yeah. The majority of people in life agree with me.
Yeah. And in
like
reality, it's just a very, very minute percentage that may or may not even agree with you. They could just be lying to you. They could just to stay on your good side and support what you do because they like, maybe, I don't know, maybe you're an amazing fucking Counter-Strike player, some shit like that, and you have a political view, but they love your Counter-Strike so much that they're going to be like, yeah, you know what, you're right. Now let's get back to let's get back to the Counter-Strike or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you have people that'll do that. They just support you. Like, you know, a lot of people, I feel like that happens a lot with like athletes too, not just in like the esports world, but that happens a lot with athletes, where people love an athlete so much because they're on their team and like they give them the benefit of the doubt, and then like that athlete turns out to, I don't know, have a different political stance or do some like awful shit, and then people still defend them because of what they did as an athlete. And it's like motherfuckers still go up to like motherfuckers still talk about like OJ Simpson being like a hero of theirs, and it's like, really? Yeah, that's your hero?
You are anytime a dude writes a book that says, if I did it, bro, like, that is him like whipping it out right in front of you, be like, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, it's so, I think people get blinded by the I don't want to call it the celebrity effect or anything like that, but like that's almost kind of what it is. Like, they get blinded by like they love what you do as a profession or as an entertainer. They love what you do, and so they'll just agree with everything that you're saying. It happens a lot in comedy too. Like, a lot of comedians, if they're performing in front of their own people, like in front of their own crowd, essentially, like people that have watched them for a long time, or like, you know, they've promoted from their Instagram. People have followed them on Instagram, and they've promoted shows, and so a bunch of people that already follow them day to day on social media buy tickets, and they go to see them. That comedian can say just about anything, and it'll be funny. Like, you know, they can be like, oh, my feet smell and I shit my pants, and people will giggle. It's not that it's good material. It's just, it's their audience. It's people that have followed them, that like them. Fucking Andrew Schultz was talking about it on a podcast very recently. The one with, he was on Brendan Schaub's, and Andrew Schultz did he did a spot at the Comedy Store and it was a benefit for, how the fuck did they put it? I don't even know. Like, it was like developmentally disabled people, essentially.
Right.
It was a benefit for that. And like Joey Diaz was there and Bill Burr was there. And so he's like, yeah, sure, I'll do a spot, whatever. And it was apparently like Bill Burr's show. Like, apparently like everybody was there to see Bill Burr. And Andrew said he bombed super hard because he made a few insensitive jokes. I'll just leave it at that. He just made a few insensitive jokes to the wrong crowd, and he said it was just crickets in the room. And Joey Diaz was like, dude, why'd you make that joke? Like, you know, it's a benefit for like developmentally disabled people. Like, what is the deal? Like, what are you doing? And Andrew was like, I didn't know that. And he's like, fuck it, it's fine. Like, because it's Joey Diaz and he doesn't care. But yeah, that's what he closed with, was like a joke. And obviously, like, he uses different terminology. I try not to use that word too much, just because Kylie, you know, works with people like that, and she absolutely. It's the same reason I don't say cunt. Like, I'm gonna say it now, but it's the same reason I don't say cunt. It's because Kylie fucking hates that word. Like, even when I'm real angry, I'd steer away from that word just because Kylie didn't like it. So I try to keep it away from that. But yeah, but it was apparently a bunch of people there to see Bill Burr, and they offered for him to do a spot, and he went and did it, and it's the same effect. Like, I'm sure if maybe Bill Burr did a joke like that, it probably would have went over a lot differently because people are there to see him. Like, Andrew Schultz to them is like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, who? And that happens a lot where with comedians, where, like, you know, you have people that support you day to day or really loved what you did 2 years ago on fucking Netflix or something. You can get away with saying a lot of other just outlandish shit. Yeah, you can. Yeah. That's just what it is. It's the same way with content creators. Like, motherfuckers might disagree with you, but they'll still give you the benefit of the doubt and still support you.
Yeah, you're not gonna go to a comedian that you know is like, it has a lot of racy jokes, and you're so left wing that like you could never laugh at something like that.
I always try to like use. I mean, Andrew Schultz is a great example of that because I mean he's trying to pull things back away from like the PC movement a lot with comedy specifically, not in general, but just with comedy.
Right.
But I always use Anthony Jeselnik as a good example of that, where like he makes dead baby jokes all the time, and like if you don't know Anthony Jeselnik, like obviously his fans are probably they're into that more edgy humor, you know, things like that. But if you just go to a show and Anthony Jeselnik gets up there and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? And he's talking about like dead babies all the time and like shit like that. It's like it's like that shock comedy, but you don't know the person at all. Like, you just walked up into a random group of friends and start like roasting people and saying some awful shit. Like, people are gonna be like, what the fuck is this guy? It's the same effect. Like, it's just, I don't know. Very very much need to like know your audience in a sense, but also I think a lot of content creators, specifically YouTubers and Twitch streamers, need to kind of like check themselves a lot of the time and realize you know.
Well, I'm a firm believer in context is everything, dude. I've always played that position on that kind of stuff. But what I mean by that is, when I say context is everything, right? Like exactly what you said. If you are at your show and this is what you're known for, right? So then someone wants to clip out one little part of your skit that like you're known for that skit.
Yeah, and somebody doesn't even support you, obviously. The people that are doing that.
Yeah, so cool. Of course, this joke is not for you then, right? Whether it's edgy and like whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. But like also for that actor, it is your job, or the comedian, it is your job to know the group in which you are speaking to.
Yeah.
Right? Like know the context, know the clientele of the room, know who's around. Like that's part of your job as well, because I don't even think it's like insensitive, right? Like if you're at a banquet for troops and you're cracking jokes on troops, right? Like
it can either be it can either be relatable or it can be like this awful like shit, you know.
Yep. But once again, like I said, like context matters. Like, but I do believe like everybody has their independent rights to know the situation that they have then put themselves in.
Yeah, and especially if like they've paid money to go see somebody, you know, maybe it won't go over as well because motherfuckers paid money, and then you start like slinging some shit that they weren't expecting, I guess. But well, like I think it was Joe Coy. I think that's who it was. That he did it might not have been him actually. Now I'm don't quote me on that. But there was a comedian that I saw. It was a YouTube thing popped up, and he did a show that was like almost entirely made, I believe, of like Boston police officers. And like he was making like he made a few jokes about like, you know, cops shooting people and stuff like that, and everybody thought it was funny, but it was because of the way like it was the way he worded it, and it was the way like, you know, it was very like it was a well put out joke. It wasn't just like this blatant attack. Like there's one way to spin things to make it come off easier or make it come off funnier rather than just being like, "Ah, cops shoot people, man." You know what I mean? Like that's not the way to deliver something.
Right.
And you know, it went over well, whatever. But I do think that you kind of like know your audience, but also like, you know, you just gotta.
I just think people that are uptight need to quit being so uptight, and people that are too edgy just need to dial back a little bit, just a little
The
bit.
Reddit warriors, fucking.
I'm not telling you to change everything that you are as a person, and hell, you don't have to listen to a single thing I'm saying, right? Like you and I both have always been very open with our streams of like, this is my stream, like, don't tell me what to be in my stream.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know your limits to like what you should or shouldn't do.
We live in a world of extremes, though.
Well, 100%. I 100% agree.
And I don't even
either
think
it's the best or the worst.
A lot of people say that like people are changing and it hasn't always been this way. Well, yes, I believe that people are changing. I always feel like we've lived in a world of extremes. I mean, even if you want to go back, like way back, you know, like religious extremes. Motherfucker, do you know how many people have fucking died over a crusade to Jerusalem? You know what I mean? To reclaim the Holy Land. You want to tell me that's not extreme, that you marched thousands of people across fucking thousands of miles to go and kill a bunch of people that you don't even know? Like, that's, you want to talk about extremes. We've always been extreme people, okay? Like, we're all the way over here or we're all the way over there. Like, I try my best to live somewhere in the middle. I'm not saying I'm the best at it, because there's some things that I probably just flat out disagree with. But I try to live somewhere in the middle, and I think slowly people are trying to live in the middle. But there's still so much of the extremes, and it's always been that way. It's always been like, I'm over here, you're way over here. It's just what it is.
I think the difference is, like, we now have the technology to put everyone on a platform, right? Like, we live in an age where... Yeah, we live in a world where fucking... Not trying to throw shade on you or anything like that, right? But, like, 4 years ago, like, you only really had your Twitch channel, right, which you were growing. Yeah. But, like, one video changes everything, right? So, like, now, all of a sudden, everyone that says they adore you, like, they're just becoming interested, right? So it's like...
Yeah, they had no idea. And I talk about that, too. Like, they had no idea. Like...
We live in a world with, like... I don't necessarily agree with the Paul brothers or anything like that, but, like, they have built themselves, like, that type of world based off of... technology, right? So like 30 years ago, these guys would have been nobody, right? They would have still been living in Ohio, like
probably like
doing a whole lot of nothing,
got like a regular 9 to 5 or something, or
right. But like we live in the society where and I think that plays into the millennial, like, and Gen Z part of being the extremes, is because that's all anyone ever wants to see is the extreme. No one wants to see the person that's very subtle in the middle. Everyone wants to see the bigoted racist on TV, because what is he going to say next? What is she going to say next? But yet everyone wants to see the left wing of like, hey, let's poke fun at that person holding the sign off of something crazy and ridiculous, right?
Well, people
like,
don't
that
like...
is the world we live in.
People don't like fence sitting either. People don't like people that are like...
You got to have a side.
Yeah, they don't... But I will say, though, there's a lot of people... People don't like people that don't know what they believe. So, like, people always want to know how you feel about a certain subject, and if you don't give them a direct answer, then all of a sudden you're a fence sitter and you don't have principles. It's like, no, I just don't want you to fucking attack me over what I'm about to say. And
right. That's what I said.
Yeah,
that's why I've been the guy that's always been in the middle, because I don't care. Right? I look at situations very, very differently.
Yeah.
Right. But like, I don't care. Like, I don't care what someone else has to say about a certain issue. Like, cool. That's awesome that you think that way. Cool. Let's vote about it, and whoever wins wins. I've never been that crazy down your throat. Like, it's kind of funny because someone I play WoW with, and I'm very close with at work, like, he's one of those extremists, and I'm like, Anthony, don't come over here with that stuff, dude. I don't care. I don't care. Like, every day it's, did you see this? Did you see that? Did you hear her? Did you hear this guy? I don't care, bro. I don't. He's like, dude, you gotta care. Like it's your duty as a human being to care. And I was like, but I don't. Like, if it is not directly impacting my life right now or my son's life, I don't care.
Like, people say that the people that don't care are just as bad as the people that disagree with them or do the awful shit. And it's like, there's that weird philosophical shit that like there's no good and there's no evil. There just is. Like,
right.
There's in the grand scheme of things, like humans made up the idea of good and evil. Like we did. Our brains we looked at something and was like, that's bad and this is good. So if you want to go into that weird, deep philosophical fucking hole, like there's no good, there's no evil, there just is, and that's the way the world is, and it's just the way people look at it, and you know, shit like that. So who are you to tell me how I'm supposed to feel about a certain topic or whatever? Like, that's a whole rabbit hole that I don't want to go into, but. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I've heard that too, of like you're just as bad for not caring. I'm like, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. Apparently you're not, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I can live happy knowing that I'm the guy. I'm that guy. I'm that guy that's just as bad as the people that do care.
Yeah.
But to me, life's too short, man, to be stressing about stuff like that, man.
Yeah, I fucking
like I've always said, that have more fun, be nice to people, don't be a scumbag.
Try to
think
be
those are hard concepts to live by. Yeah. Not crazy hard concepts. Like, but that's why I've always like claimed to be a very likable person, right? And it bothers me when someone like genuinely says like they don't like me, not because they don't like me, but it's like I've got to know why. And is it something I did wrong? Where did I mess up? Yeah, like because like as you know, like I don't keep a lot of people close in my life, so I don't care if we don't go hang out every day. But like for you to say you don't like somebody, but what did I do?
You do care, but you don't. At the same time,
right? Yeah, it's that. Yeah,
it's that fucked up world you live in where you're like, I don't give a fuck, but I kind of do, but only a little bit, but only about this one thing. But I really don't give a fuck.
But I don't care. If you ask me again, I won't tell you I don't care. But hey, why don't you like me though?
Oh shit.
Nah, that is 100% like spot on. Like I said, that's why I've said numerous times, dude. I never thought me and your wife would get along, and she's probably one of the closest people in my life to me. But like her and I, like I'd say her and I have almost polar opposites as far as like a lot of ideals.
Yeah.
But it's okay, and the difference is like I think we both know that, and we're cool with that.
Yeah. No.
Except I stress her out because I'm a very unorganized human being, and she can't stand that.
Yeah.
And the piece of shit in me laughs about it.
That's what I think frustrates her the most, is when you laugh at things and she's like, fuck you, this is serious. And you're like,
well, because she knows I'm not irresponsible too, I think, which really digs at her. Like I've always been so independent, and like I've been adulting my whole life, like literally since I was 17 years old. It's like she knows that I know, but I'm just like, I'll get to it when I get to it.
She told me the other day, she was like, I don't even remember what triggered this. Something triggered it. I don't know if maybe you text her or maybe I mentioned something, but she was like, for as attractive of a human being as he is, I could never date him. And I was like, I just died laughing. I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. She's like, he's an attractive dude. Okay. Like he's not fat. He's tall. He's, good personality for the most part. Like, she disagrees with some of the shit, right. But she was like, for the most part, she was like, but I could never date him. There's no way. And I was like, you can put up with me, but you can't put up with him. She's like, oh, all day. And I was just like, holy shit. I don't know what happened, but she was just like going in. We were like in the kitchen, like making dinner. So I don't know if you like text her or if maybe I mentioned something that like you did that was stupid or something. And she was like, I could never date him. I have no idea what happened. She was like, it's like that weird universe catch-22 where you have, the looks, but you're also like, you just annoy the fuck out of me. And I don't remember what the hell you did, but she was like, I can't do it.
No, I haven't talked to her in a while. But I could see that, right? But like to me, like I think that's what her and I, like why her and I's relationship is so good, because like there are times where I go a little extreme, right? And then when you text me, I'm like, cool, time for me to dial it back a bit, right? But like but I think I give her reasons to stress, which I think like she can sit there and say like it frustrates her, right? But I think it gives her purpose. Like she's such a caring human being that like she has to be caring for somebody, which is okay, right? That's who she is as a person, right? So like even if I gave her nothing to stress about, she would feel like I'm mad at you guys, right? Like, and that's not at all. But like I think she struggles to understand your and I's relationship, because most people do, right? Like how we became friends versus like how we just deal with a lot of things where like you'll voice your opinion, but yet you're not that friend that's like, you're so stupid.
Yeah.
You're so stupid. You need to be doing this. You'll be like, bro, you're going to make a mistake. Hey, what'd you expect?
You're
like,
going to fuck it up.
And that's what I get. Like, you're that guy that talks reason to me. And you're like, well, but at the end of the day, do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah. Because, you know, you can't make people do what you want. And I think she likes to say that she's not the same as like her mom, because they are different in like viewpoints, but her mom's a fixer. So like her mom hears like maybe like, I don't know, like, you know, she had a bad day, she's not feeling good, like mentally, whatever it is, you know, and her mom immediately tries to fix it by like saying like, did you go to the gym, did you do this, did you do this? She's like, I didn't want a solution, I wanted you to listen to my problems. But then she will do the same thing sometimes. Like, she's a great listener, but she'll do the same thing sometimes. And like, she'll try to fix things for people all the time.
Right.
I'm not even talking about me. I'm talking about friends that are having issues. Like, friends will call her and just dump all this shit on her. And she's like, okay, yeah. Rather than being like, hey, I can't really deal with this right now. Like, I've got my own shit. You know, she has to be there to fix people, like, other people.
And that's why, like, I only text her when I've done something good. Like, when I got my car insurance, I didn't text her every day saying, hey, I don't have car insurance, but I text her like, hey, I finally got car insurance, yay.
I just don't want to fucking stress her out. I'll be like, you're killing my wife, stop it.
Yeah, because I know she does, dude. She wears that type of stress. But that's also why, like, I told her, like, I had nothing but love for her when it came up to the wedding. I was like, but I stopped texting her because I can't text her without stressing her out.
Yeah.
Because of how I live my life.
Yeah.
Like when she had that breaking point, and then like I got a little frustrated because I was like, I had the suit all along.
I know.
I had it.
I told
it's
her
literally
that.
in my room.
I told her that. It's just, yeah. But I mean, we got through it. We're fucking stronger people for it, I'm sure. But yeah, it's just funny.
Then she almost killed me on like the day before your wedding because I didn't book my room.
Yeah. Well, nobody did. It wasn't just you. I told you, like, you were just the cherry on top of that shit cake. Like, nobody fucking did. Like,
at least I had a miscommunication reason behind like what I did.
Yeah, it was fucking. There was a whole shit, and there was a whole lot of other stuff that went into that. Like, that wasn't just you. It was just you were there, and then on top of everything, like, oh, dude, that was fun. That was so fun. God damn it.
Yeah, your wife's awesome. Does she listen to these?
I don't think so. I don't think she's a big podcast person. She might, for all I know. Maybe she's got a friend that listens to him or something. But yeah, as far as I know, I don't think she does.
I've picked up a lot of traction from work, which is cool. But like,
it's also a bunch of people you work with.
Yeah, but I don't mind.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so I always tell them, I'm like, hey, cool. I talk about a lot of things and a lot of people. Like, if you get offended, then just don't listen. Because I even told like my managers that and stuff like that, because he's super into podcasts. Like I said, he's the one that wants to create his own, and he was like just asking about it and what do we talk about and stuff like that. And that, I think, is what frustrates people the most, is when anytime they ask me what do we talk about, and I said whatever. Yeah. They're like, what do you mean? There's got to be a topic, and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
I was like, last week we talked about boxing, UFC. What else did we talk? We talked about women in sports. Like, I was like, we're not scripting anything. We don't necessarily care.
Fucking. It was interesting because there was also, so the new collective bargaining agreement just got signed for the WNBA, and they got a pay increase. They got more money. Fucking Akash Singh was talking about the WNBA, and he like tore it to pieces, just absolutely shit all over it, because he was like, because he was basically saying like they don't make money. He's like, if you're an owner of a WNBA team, you're essentially a charitable organization. He was like, it just tore it to pieces. But he was like, because they were talking about a bunch of other shit, but I was like, wow, a lot of people really aren't a fan of the WNBA. I thought it was just weird timing that we had just talked about that, and then they signed that, and then there's been a bunch of people like talking about the new CBA and all that shit. People happy, but also some people that are like on the other side that are like, meh, you know.
Yeah, dude, they're at least 20, 30 years away from being like even remotely close to anything. And I hate that it's like that, but I mean,
Yeah, that's.
I don't see a lot of people having the same open mindset that both you and I have, where at the end of the day, tickets sale.
Well, I mean,
Like,
it's again, it goes back to what grows a sport and what pulls eyes. It is casual fans. Casual fans is what grows a sport, because you can have hardcore fans, right? And they're gonna watch the sport because they love the sport. But what grows it? What gets people to just randomly give tickets to a game to one of their friends or whatever? You know what I mean? It's casual fans.
Right.
And your casual basketball fan is like, huh, jump high, dunk ball good. Woohoo, I love it. Woo! LeBron James. And it's like, that's your casual NBA fan. As bad as that is, they're they have no idea who's still in the league. Some people still think Shaquille O'Neal plays. Oof. And that's what I'm saying, though. That's your casual fan. Your casual fan has to be marketed to, and we talked about that last week, was the lack of marketing for it. And
right.
I mean, it's like your casual fans in fucking UFC too. What does your casual fan want to see? They don't want to see wrestlers hug each other. They want to see fucking ham-fisted heavyweights knock each other the fuck out. That's what they want to see. And
speak of the devil.
What?
Sidebar.
Yeah.
Are you going to the fights in Columbus? And Ngannou's coming.
I didn't even know there were fights in Columbus.
We'll sidebar that conversation. Yeah, they're coming to Columbus in March.
Oh, then maybe we'll save that for
Francis
next week.
Ngannou and the guy that just knocked out Alistair over him are the main event. And then Cody Garbrandt's fighting as well.
Then maybe I'll see if we can fucking swing that. I gotta see though, because March we got a wedding to go to in June, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But like, yeah, because it's a big group of us from work going, and like everybody's like, we're trying to figure out everyone, so like we can just place the order for the tickets, and everybody's just gonna give whoever's placing the order for the tickets money.
Gotcha.
But no, you're exactly right though. It's all about the marketing and the casual fan, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, like without those casual fans, like, are you really there to be able to do anything? I don't think so.
No, and that's what I'm saying though. That's who you need. You need those casual fans to essentially turn a profit, as much as because your hardcore fans, like I said, you're always going to have people that just love UFC or love basketball or whatever it is.
Right.
But like the casual fan, the people that you can sell shit to, like that maybe won't go to every event, but they fill seats.
Yep.
Well,
not only that, the casual fan is the one that tends to spend the most money too. Like, oh, like I'm here because I enjoy the cons. Like I enjoy I enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a jersey. Let me buy this jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, that foam hand's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, the food. Like I'm here for the food or whatever.
Yeah.
Like those are the fans that it's called what it is. Like bring in all the revenue.
Yeah. They fill seats, and they and then they go and they might talk about it and be like, oh yeah, I went to, I don't know, a fucking Sparks game or something, like and people will be like, oh, was it any good? And they'd be like, yeah, I had a good time. Then maybe that's word of mouth and shit like that. But that's who sells your tickets. That's who fucking what grows your sport is those casual fans, because then maybe some of those casual fans start to watch more. That's just what it is. That's the way that shit works. And there's no marketing, but we talked about that last week, so we're not going to go into it. And we should probably just wrap this up right here. We went a little bit long, but that's okay. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching along. As always, you can find me on Twitter at LLance. You can find Steven at iStevieTV on Twitter as well. You can also, if you're watching or you're listening on a certain platform, as of right now, I'm pretty sure we're approved across like everything, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify, just about anything that has a podcast, whether it's an app too, like we're on a bunch of apps now, which I thought was really cool. You can pretty much find it. So for those of you that watch on YouTube, maybe you're just only interested in the audio portion. There's links down below to all the audio feeds and shit like that. Do you have anything, Steven?
No, thank you very much as always for watching. Thank you for anybody that's newly subscribed. I'm hoping at some point here soon, because I'm kind of enjoying doing these consistent week by week podcasts. I would like to. I mean, we would like to step it up to possibly 2 days a week at some point. But we just gotta start not being lazy on Mondays and actually get up and do something that works around your stream, Lance, and then me just not being a complete buffoon. But thank you everybody for listening or watching. And as always, take care, everybody, and enjoy your days.
Bye, everybody.